So tonight we're back with the ManaTraders series, and we're playing my Boros red deck. That's what I'm coining the name as. I still like the deck. It's pretty sweet. I haven't changed the list. I don't really see any immediate changes that need to be made. So we're just gonna leave it like this and start searching for a match. I'm pretty excited to keep playing in the ManaTraders series. We went 4-1 last night. So had a pretty good start, and our one loss was a really close game 3 to Burn that came down within 1 point. So, all right, we already got a match, so that's good. We played the Rakdos mid-range deck, which was pretty solid last night. I felt like that had a pretty good showing, so I'm kind of hoping that we can keep that good fortune running into tonight. We are continuing the good fortune of being on the draw, if you want to call that good fortune. We have multiple turn 1 threats here. Yeah, we have multiple threats followed by a couple of removal spells and a couple of lands, so this seems pretty solid. When we're playing 24 lands in a deck like this, I'm pretty okay with keeping the I'm pretty okay with keeping only a couple of lands. Alright, let's serve up one here. Den of the Bugbear makes me think that they're either on Rakdos midrange or they're on Mono Red Aggro. Mono Red Aggro it is. We're going to play with fire, go to 18. And then we're going to crash in for 3, put our opponent to 16 here. We do have a third land, so we're in a pretty good spot. Man, they have 3 Den of the Bugbears. Alright, Stomp a Swiftspear. That's fine. I'm going to play the mountain, or play the red side, run out of Ferocidon and say go here. I like having Ferocidon down because it basically means anything that comes in is just gonna, like, they have to take life off of it. Plus, if they play Chandra and minus here, we can Chainwhirler and not have to attack them. So, that feels pretty good. Yep. So we're going to kill Chandra. We're going to attack them for 1. Continuing to put on pressure here in a good way. At some point, we do need to draw into a 4th land, but everything feels pretty good right now. Play Bonecrusher Giant, okay. And our opponent says go. So I'm going to attack for 3 here. Our opponent goes to 10. Okay. And then I'm going to run out Ferocidon. Hopefully they don't have Lightning Strike here to deal with our Ferocidon. I mean, they played Bonecrusher Giant and just said go and didn't really do anything else that turn, so that feels like a pretty good turn for us. I was like, now our opponent could have Overload Mizzium Mortars right here. Now that would be a problem. Okay, our opponent goes to 9. So they can fire up, stop, mana time. I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty good. What's going on, Ben? How's your day, buddy? I think we are in a good enough spot to cast stomp on the Soul-Scar Mage and see what happens here. They have 2 cards in hand. I feel like they're kind of flooding out a little bit here. I imagine that one of their plays is like... It kind of feels like their play is going to be fire up Den of the Bugbear here and block. Our opponent, I mean, the fact that they're thinking so much about this here makes me feel like that they probably have something to play. Are they going to stomp our Swiftspear in response? Okay. Good. Yeah, mine was pretty good. Yeah, it was, I mean, it was busy at work, but, you know, that's means I have a job, so I can only complain about that so much. Run out Goblin Chainwhirler. Chainwhirler allows me to deal with only Rilladala's Nightbot. Oh, we're going to attack in. If they block our Bonecrusher Giant with the Goblin Chainwhirler, they're losing their Bonecrusher Giant, and our Ferocidon can't be blocked here. So Overload Mizzium Mortars would be pretty bad for us here, but I don't even know if our opponent's playing that. Alright, Searing Blood, Chain to the Rocks, and Deflecting Palm. Not a huge fan of Eidolon on the draw. Leave in an Eidolon? No, leave in an Eidolon. Yeah, let's try it like that. We're just bringing good removal spells. Does your company make like $10,000 foot big purifiers, like clear the neighborhood air size? I mean, that'd be pretty cool. We don't, but that would be awesome. If I thought I wouldn't lose my job, I might, you know, suggest that to the company, to the powers that be. Our opponent mulligans in this hand's really good. 3 removal spells, both colors, and good creatures, so... Especially with our opponent on a mulligan, you like to see this kind of hand. If they lead on a turn 1 threat... Go ahead and get Soul-Scar Mage down. So they didn't have a turn 1 play. Alright. So I think we're just going to have to play this on the red side and hope that we draw into another white source here. I think that's probably our best line of play. Big Sad. Yeah, sorry, man. Now, drawing Chandra's fine, but we kind of need to hit like lands here. Ferocidon? Alright, Mizzium Mortars to deal with the Rampaging Ferocidon and say go. Missing land drops there kind of hurts. Would have liked to have seen a 3rd land right there instead of another Play with Fire. Like, Play with Fire is fine, but at the same time, like, it's kind of not doing a ton. Torbran. White source off the top, please. Alright, Chain of the Rocks on Torbran. Attack for 2. I would prefer it if Play with Fire was a better answer to... was in a spot to be a better answer for their creatures. Unfortunately, like, Play with Fire is only so good. Like, Shock is Shock is really good in the Pioneer format, but unfortunately there are a lot of things in the mono red deck it doesn't kill, so... Plus, if our opponent just plays a threat here, we'd love to just see an untapped land so that we can slam Chandra. Lava Coil the Eidolon. Okay. Now, with the fact that they're playing Lava Coil there, I think we might be in an okay spot to go ahead and play with Fire and Scry one. Ho ho, leave that on top. Alright, play Chandra. Getting a Planeswalker down on an open board feels really solid. Well, we would have liked to have had that to play, but 2 damage is 2 damage. We've had some pretty good draws so far. Hitting our 4th land and hitting the white source. The turn we did was pretty big. I mean, we could have seen Den of the Bugbear or like one of our 7 other mountains there, so hitting a white source when we did was very big. So I think the best course of action here is to play the Bonecrusher Giant, or minus on the Bonecrusher Giant, play the Ferocidon, and then hold it play with fire. This feels like our best course of action. Because we're holding up a removal spell for their Den of the Bugbear if they try to, like, play, like, if they have, like, a 1 mana answer here. I don't know what that looks like red cap melee, I guess, into activate Den of the Bugbear. We still have removal. Okay. Deals 1 to each of us. I mean, I guess you could have another land into... Ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad, but they are dead. And on the bottom, it doesn't matter. We go to 12. We plus no, and stomp them, and we get the W. Waiting for Stokes 12. Hey, we get to be on the play. Hi, and good luck, opponent. Bop them. That's right, Ben. We're bopping them tonight. Like this hand, this is really solid. We have a really good curve, followed by also very good top end. So, like that. I don't think when these people start watching the game, I don't think they can actually see my hand. So, I mean, and quite frankly, if the guy we're playing against is so desperate to win games in the ManaTraders series that he is having his buddy come in and spy on other people's hands, then that's just kind of sad. Okay. Gonna attack and see what my opponent does. If they block, I would be wildly surprised. So, gonna have to imagine that's a big hard no. I mean, that's fine. I'm kind of surprised they did block, but it's 2 damage either way, so... What does them blocking tell me? I think them blocking tells me that they have a few creatures that they're just not kind of afraid to run out. Huh. Okay. Run out our Bonecrusher Giant here. If they play their Bonecrusher Giant or Ferocidon or like Chainwhirler, like really any 3-drop here, then we have Chandra to just minus on it, so that feels pretty solid. Okay. We are going to minus, hit them. Now, Chainwhirler would be a pretty good way for them to clean up here. Now, fortunately, we do have another Chandra. Ferocidon, say go. Okay. Four, five, six, seven. Yeah, that kind of sucks, but I think it's better to get all of my stuff down here. We're going to keep this Chandra. We're going to minus, and we're going to put our opponent to 9. And now anything they play that's not Chandra and or Torbran here requires them to shock themselves. Wins the match. Alright, we get our opponent, so we win this game, we're qualified. Hi, and good luck, opponent. This hand's a little slow, but I feel like it kind of has the grinding ability that I want. Chainwhirler is pretty good on a lot of boards. If we were on the play here, this hand would be immediately better, because getting Eidolon down on the play is really good in most matchups. Okay, play with fire. Just off the top. Alright, that is a removal spell, so... Bonecrusher Giant is a very good card, so we'll take one. Wondering if they have their own Eidolon here. Okay, okay. Well, we're going to say go and hold up the Stomp here, because we're going to Stomp Eidolon. Hoping that Bonecrusher Giant can help clean up. Or not Bonecrusher Giant, Goblin Chainwhirler can help clean up. Okay. I'm pretty okay with that. Our opponent effectively spent their turn doing that, so feel pretty okay about that one. Our opponent just says go. Okay. I don't really know what our opponent's doing, but I feel like double Eidolon when they're stuck on lands is pretty good here. They concede immediately. Okay. This is... I feels like we're playing against Mono Red Aggro again, so we're going to bring in the same cards we did. Searing Blood is probably not great here, honestly, but... we will try it like this. Okay, I like this hand. Wish it had a couple of removal spells in it, but I do like this hand, so... Zergo Bellstriker. Play that, say go. We'll take 2 from the Zergo here. Opponent casts Play with Fire, hits us for 2. Does not play a land. Interesting. Wonder if our opponent has Lot Up the Stage in their deck. Either way, they hit a land here, so... Run out Ferocidon and say go. It's probably going to eat a removal spell here. I feel like it's probably going to eat a Lightning Strike. I'm just going to play with Fire Us. Puts one card on top. I imagine it's a land. Oh, okay. So they had Lava Coil and it was a land. Alright. Next turn we get to play Chainwhirler and Eidolon, so Eidolon might hurt us more than it will our opponent. They've had a lot of good removal spells so far. If our opponent attacks here, then we know they have Stomp. It's like if they say go, then that's pretty sweet. I actually like the idea of having Soul-Scar Mage into Chainwhirler here. Because if they don't have a removal spell for our Torbran at instant speed, this is just like a Lightning Bolt you and Anger of the Gods your board. Which feels pretty good. Luck for me, luck for you, high for me. Alright, it's nice to know that I could play, like I could stop here if I wanted to, you know, tonight, but obviously I'm not going to because I've only been streaming for like 30 minutes. Oh. We only have 2 lands, but we're on the draw here, so I'm kind of okay with keeping this. If our opponent's playing an aggro deck, we have removal. If our opponent's playing a controlling deck, we have top end, good curve, so we have sticky threats. Well, that automatically makes me think that we're playing against like Winota or like that Green-White Humans deck. Ooh, it's the Green-White Angels deck. Definitely going to play with fire that. Let's go ahead and run out the Eidolon. Next turn we have the option of playing either Ferocidon. Ferocidon. Yeah, we're probably going to play Ferocidon. Like, we could play Chainwhirler here, but I think Ferocidon's just better. We're hitting lands. We're hitting our land drops here really well, which basically gives us the out next turn of playing Chandra into plus for mana. Running through these players like Drano. Yeah, man. Tonight, things are just going our way. Are you officially in the series now? Yeah, I'm officially qualified. I just have to I just have to finish playing out my games, but I have officially qualified, yeah. All right, play Chandra. Plus for mana, stomp this. We get a 2/2, we take a couple life, and then we attack for 3. They can't block. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I won't lie. I mean, you've been around. Like, I was like, you watch me play all the time. It feels like I struggle to qualify sometimes, so hashtag killing it. Thank you. It is, I think it's definitely fair to say that things are going, hashtag easy. All right, I wouldn't go that far, but I would say that things are definitely going our way here. This person keeps watching the games. I don't know, like, why they're watching. Alright, so we attack for 5. We take 1. We play this. We plus for mana. And we run out the Bonecrusher Giant. We have to take another one, but we're in a pretty decent spot here. He's goated tonight. Thanks, guys. You guys are like hype team of the century right now. Okay, our opponent goes to 8. That's just lethal. Yep, okay, I was like, and now we just get to... I mean, were they dead anyway? They block here and they take 8. Oh, they were just dead there. We didn't even need the second Chandra. Okay. Chain of the Rocks, Rending Volley. I feel like Searing Blood can be good, but it can also be kind of bad. Do I want Deflecting Palm here? He's goaded every night to me. Wow. I'm glad you feel that way, baby. So we cut I don't know if we want Deflecting Palm here or not. Cards that do not seem that great include Swiftspear and hey, baby. Carly came home, that's why we stopped for a second. Alright, so Rending Volley is going to be good here because almost everything that... I think it's just like White Angels, and they play green for like company, I'm pretty sure. Nightbot, you're interrupting a moment. Jesus. I don't know, I'm having a hard time here, like with what to cut. Maybe we cut like a couple Eidolons on the draw, because they do put a good amount of pressure on. Or maybe we cut... I don't think we really want to cut Torbran, no, either. Ferocidon is a necessary card here. Yeah, I think this is just what we're doing. Yeah, I think this is what we're doing. Again, Chain to the Rocks is awesome in this matchup. Even over, like, Lava Coil would be really good in this matchup, but Chain of the Rocks is better. Yeah, I like this hand. This hand's solid. It's honestly, like, probably one of the best hands you could ask for. 4 lands is quite a few, but never another creature enters the battlefield. You gain 1 life. We're just going to take that opportunity to play that tapped. Drawing a mountain is a very good draw step for if we ever draw into Chain of the Rocks and need to play it, so we'll go to 19. Alright, well, we can stop drawing lands now. We won't need any more than 6. 6 is the most we'll ever need, so they go to 22, put us to 18. They're missing land drops here. We're going to run out Ferocidon and say go. Next turn, our worst play is play Chandra, plus 4 mana, hit play with fire. Well, they're no longer gaining life, and Ferocidon's now making them take life every time they play something, so we like to see that. I'm going to attack and see what they do here. I am curious to see. They have to put everything... I was like, if they put everything in front here, they can... Plus into Eidolon when our opponent's missing land drops is insane. Our opponent missing land drops here has been really good for us. Probably have Skyclave Apparition. Okay. I mean, that is pretty good. Alright. We're trying to stop the life gain here. Alright, our opponent goes to 14. We're going to say go here. We have double play with fire, which doesn't seem bad. Okay. Put a 1/1 counter on that. Well, I'd rather take 2 from Play with Fire than I would that. Down goes Chandra. I mean, they're still missing on land drops, so if they're willing to trade their Resplendent Angel for this, then I'm okay with that. I think this is probably our best play. We go to 11, put our opponent to 8 here, and then we have a pretty good swing back next turn. They're hitting a green source there. Was pretty backbreaking. They chose to play their... Wow, that's all they hit was Bishop of Wings, so no life gain for you. Feels pretty good. They pump up nothing. They kind of do nothing there. Like, that felt pretty solid. All right, we're going to go to 6 here. We're going to exile... So let's see. If they block the biggest thing, which is Chainwhirler, they take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so they're dead here. So Chain to the Rocks was an insane draw step here. Another prime example of where Chain of the Rocks is just better than Lava Coil. The White Splash just, again, being worth it. All right, well, that makes us 4-0 on the night. That was a little bit of a... Hi, and good luck, opponent. Yep, we'll go first. Wow, we got a mulligan that. That's pretty bad. This is a lot better. We can keep this and put the Sacred Foundry on the bottom. I kind of wish we had some interaction here, but... There's no reason to keep the Sacred Foundry game 1 because there are no white cards in the deck. So I realize we have another white source in our hand, even if there were, but there are no white cards in the deck. So putting away lands that deal us damage are good here. Getting to go Den of the Bugbear into Inspiring Vantage just feels so good. Forest. Llanowar Elf, okay. Run out Soul-Scar Mage number 2 and say go. Now, Chandra's a good draw step, but we need something to fill the curve here, so... Well, we're going to say go here. Not having an answer for the Llanowar Elf has put us a turn behind. How much of a pretty sweet sandbag would it be here to have actually had an instant speed interaction spell and just have held on to it to block the Old Growth Troll with? That would have been next level mind games, I'm not going to lie. I would not have thought of that. Don't play against mono green often in Pioneer. Used to when the the mono green Planeswalker deck was pretty popular, but I don't very much anymore. I don't see a ton of it. Okay. Now, a 6/6 is tough to beat. It's just kind of tough to get around it. Now, the good news is that because they tapped out, we can play Torbran and kill their Vivian here. And we'll say go here. Depending on what they have here, we have Chandra to help deal with the old growth trolls, so that leaves us in somewhat of a decent position here. Chain of the Rocks is going to be really good. Deflecting Palm is going to be awesome. I truly wonder if Searing Blood is good enough in these matchups, because it does hit some of their lower stuff, but I really don't feel like it's that good. These style of decks are like kind of weird. They're like a weird mix between like mono green Stompy and like mono green Planeswalkers. Like, and Old Growth Troll like adds to the Nykthos cost, so I'm not saying it's bad. It's just always interesting to see these kinds of lists. Oh man. Oh man. Our opponent's got something big. He's about to go ham with it. He's got 6 devotion. God bless. Make that 7. Still has access to 8 mana here, so if you count the Lana Worlds, it gives him 1 more. Well, Vivian's a tough scene because he's going to use that to make Old Growth Troll kill our Torbran, and then we're just going to be up a creek here. Yep. Maybe their last card's a land. Alright, well, it's not something they can play for 3 mana, so... Surprised they didn't attack for 7. It is 1 more point. Like... Man... Well, is our best play here Chandra? I think if we play Chandra, and then we plus... Nope. We're going to say go here. Which means we're taking 6, 7, 8. So we're dead on board here if our opponent sees it, even if they have nothing to do. So we've given ourselves the best shot we could at an out here. This game's not looking very good. Not looking very good for the home team, that is. I don't feel like our opponent sees lethal here yet. Well, that's actually like, that's like way more lethal than I thought. They're just going to send everybody at me. At least they should. Wow. That is intertesting. Did they change their minds? Did they see lethal all of a sudden? Yep, if they swing with everybody, we're dead here. Because we block here, take 4. We block here, take 2 is 6, 7, 8. There's nothing we can do about it. They did send everybody at us, right? Yep, they saw the line. Okay. Oh, well. Yeah, because we get the plus into Mizzium Mortars next turn and kind of take care of everything and make these guys 2/2s. And then we have this to block with. So we were in a somewhat decent spot. Chain of the Rocks, Deflecting Palm. These cards are going to be insane. Again, Swiftspear does not feel very good here. Ferocidon's a very... I think we can cut a Chandra. Chandra is good, but it's slow. I think we'd rather just have hard removal. And, I mean, like, that Deflecting Palm, like... If we can, like, win this game without showing them Deflecting Palm in the next game, we can have Deflecting Palm, we'll be in a really good spot. But we got to get through this game first. Well, our opponent's taking their time trying to figure out what they want to do here. Rest in Peace provides no value. Rending Volley is red or blue or white or blue creatures. Vortex doesn't really provide any like help here. They don't really gain much life, and if they do, like they put so much pressure on Vortex just isn't good enough. And then Searing Blood is very questionable. I just don't think Searing Blood's up to the test here. I think we already have 8 ways to deal 2 damage in the main deck, and 2 damage is normally just not great enough. Emotional damage. I keep seeing that TikTok pop up places. Let me rephrase. I keep seeing the audio from that TikTok pop up places, so. Alright. Wow, this hand's good. You like to see this. Double Chain of the Rocks is solid. I'm going to play Sacred Foundry tapped here because there's nothing for us to do on turn 1. This is one of those matchups that I don't feel that good about. Like this matchup has just always felt kind of lopsided for the red deck. All right, our opponent's on 6. All right, so our opponent starts on 6. Them being down a resource is really good for us because we have a hard enough time with this matchup, so we're definitely going to stomp this guy here. And we're going to say go. And then next turn we have Ferocidon or Bonecrusher Giant. More than likely getting down Ferocidon because it's a tougher threat to block. And having 2 Chain of the Rocks and a Chandra to help follow up as removal is really good, so. I don't know if I want to go ahead. I don't know if I want to spend a Chain of the Rocks on that this early in the game. If they want to attack me for 3 here, that's fine. Let me rephrase. I can't imagine them not going to attack. Kind of hope we hit an untapped land here. Yep, we're not making that trade. Sorry, buddy. Garruk's Harbinger, okay. So, we're going to play Chain of the Rocks. We're going to run out Chandra. We're going to get in for 3 and say go. So, or we're going to play Eidolon here. So they have to play something 4 or greater here. Unless they want to get shocked by Eidolon. Eidolon and Ferocidon, both in the same deck, provide a pretty solid taxing effect. Now, Vivian would be pretty good for our opponent here because they could just kill our Ferocidon if they have it. They could just have Voracious Hydra here, which goes on the stack for 4, which means they take nothing from Eidolon, and then they can actually eat our Eidolon if they want to. Okay, they take 3 to play Llanowar Elves. I'm pretty okay with that one. That feels okay. So we're going to play Chandra. We're going to minus on the pack leader. This is a pretty good turn to get in for 5 here, but we are letting the Eidolon kill our Chandra. I think that's worth it. We're going to let the Llanowar Elves kill our Chandra here, but they're also forced to not play... They're also forced to not use it for mana, so that is something to think about. I think our opponent being an 8 is better than... Yeah, I think our opponent being an 8 is more important than us having a Chandra here in this spot. Having played with the Fire and Chain of the Rock, play with Fire and Chain of the Rocks in my hand gives me pretty good confidence about the rest of this game. I feel like one thing they probably have in their deck we didn't get to see is Elder Gargaroth. They might not be playing it in the main, but they probably have it in the side, so... I think that Eidolon is worse on the draw, but I don't know what else we want here. I do not think Swiftspear is better than Eidolon in this spot, so I think we're better off just running it back the way we have it. Like Chandra, the Force Chandra is really good, but again, I don't think it provides enough support, and I don't think that Searing... I think Searing Blood on the draw... If we didn't want Searing Blood on the play, we definitely don't want Searing Blood on the draw. So that's my thought process there. I kind of want to play something that has Abbot of Carol Keep in it. I say that because I shuffle Abbot of Carol Keep around. Like, it's part of my shuffling cards. I have 3 Ramming Runes and 3 Abbot of Carol Keep that I shuffle around, and I want to play cards. But I kind of want to play something with Abbot in it and Pioneer. I just don't know what to play. I know he was being played in Mono Red Aggro for a while, like when the format first came out. Zachary Keeney like top 8'd like one of the like Pro Tours or whatever they were called, like right after they first got rid of PTQs and stuff, or when they got rid of PPTQs. And his list was playing like two or 4 Abbot in it or something like that. It's just weird because the card always feels like something you're playing on turn like 2, like, and in standard like it wasn't. it wasn't really one of those cards. Like in Standard, it was a card that like you wanted to play. It was a card that you wanted to play, like on turn 3, so you could get value off of it. But you also play Lightning Berserker, Swiftspear, Wild Slash, all in that format. So. Well, I'm going to attack here, and I imagine my opponent won't block. Because if they do, I'm going to kill one, and then, yeah, like this is... I was like, if they do block, this pans out really well for me. If they don't block, I just get to play Eidolon. So it's kind of a winning scenario here either way for me this turn at least. I would rather get the Eidolon in play, but I would also, like, them doing that, like, lets me know that they care about their devotion. I was like, they probably have a Nykthos to play. They, like, by playing 2 Burning Tree Emissaries last turn, they've ramped themselves by 1, so they have 4 mana this turn instead of 3, which is pretty good here. Okay. I think we want to make their Nykthos worse, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to run out Goblin Chainwhirler and say go. We have pretty good blockers here against what they're trying to accomplish, so I feel pretty okay about this board. The funny part is our opponent ramped themselves and then just ended up playing a 3-drop on turn 3, or on turn 3 anyway. Now, granted, if they hadn't had double Burning Tree Emissary, they wouldn't have been able to play Old Growth Troll on turn 3 without a different land. Nykthos there actually cut them off from playing one of their cards. Now they have access to 5 mana, and I'm really just hoping it's not Elder Gargaroth. And if it is Elder Gargaroth, I'm really hoping that we draw into a Chain of the Rocks here. Vivian's, like, good, but it's not, like, super frightening here, honestly. To attack us for 5, we go to 13. Alright, drawing a land was not exactly ideal here, but... we're going to attack everybody at Vivian here. So we put Vivian to 3. We plus for mana. We stomp the Old Growth Troll, make it a 3/3, and then we say go. I don't know. We're not in a really great spot here. Like our opponent's winning the race. They can use they can. Yeah, I don't know. This is hard. This is a tough spot. Now we do have Bonecrusher Giant. Like another Chainwhirler would be pretty good off the top. Mizzium Mortars would be good off the top. Chain to the Rocks. Honestly, Deflecting Palm would be really good here. Just being able to like palm them for like 5 or 6 points here would be insane. I have access to 7 here. If they have Elder Gargaroth, they played it this turn, or they drew it this turn because they had access to 5 last turn and did not play it. Our opponents also use twice of the clock that we have, and that's moderately annoying. I know that's something I talk about all the time, but I hate that people do that stuff. Great Hinge is a good card to have. We have 0 artifact removal, so the fact that they're just gaining 2 life every turn is just dumb. Another old growth troll? Sure, why not? Feels like they'll probably just attack Old Growth Troll at Chandra and then leave everything else the same just in case we do draw a Chain of the Rocks or something because they want Llanowar Elves back to block to help protect their Vivian. Well, Eidolon's not great here. I hate to say it, but I think we're going to lose this one. The only removal spell we've seen is Chandra and a Stomp. We haven't seen a single Chain of the Rocks. Yeah, I mean they have a billion mana. Like maybe Eidolon gets them low enough, and then we peel into like a Deflecting Palm or something here to like try and cheese a win out. It's about all I can come up with, honestly. When did Pack Leader enter the reveal zone? Is it off Oath of Nissa? Okay. Plays Pack Leader. Hinge nets them the same on life here. I mean, them playing all these like 1, 2, 3 drops here, like it isn't free. So if they're forced to like play into another 3 drop or something here, like they go to 12, like it's not like that's free. Like, alright, and Grog's Harbinger again, that's 3. Like Eidolon has dealt what? 2, 4, 6 damage this turn. And they gain 2 because of Hinge, but this guy from work's calling me at 20 after 7. He probably lives in the West Coast or something. That's probably why he called me. Okay, so they are going to have a kill. They are going to kill our Eidolon here. is not looking good. Okay, and he's only color Bonecrusher Giant. That's pretty bad for us. Oh my gosh. Gonna kill our my Chainwhirler too? Alright, I'm gonna do this and go to... Well, I guess us doing that takes Mizzium Mortars off the table, but without my... without having access to Soul-Scar Mage, Mizzium Mortars was worthless anyway because we were just gonna die, so... Alright, oh, wrong thing. 4 and 1's not bad. That's not a bad run there. Let's see. It's only 7:22. We got a lot of games in pretty fast, so